So what we did on this one is this building shifted off the blocks on and was touching this other neighbor's garage. We took the metal off. The shingles didn't have enough pitch, but what we got going on here is some slugs under here, so they're eating the wood. Yeah. What we're going to try to do is get this fascia board. It has an overhang of about 7 inches, so I'm going to try to get this fascia and the soffit together. I just took that drip edge off. It wrapped around the corner. I like how they did the drip edge. It ties it together, but I had to cut that because watch. See that? That whole thing can come off in there, but I think it's installed with decent sized framing nails because I couldn't move it from below. Like butchering it. But what they did on this is they ran the OSB vertical, so it goes up 8 foot this way, which is not correct. You tend to get more sag and weak, and then this doesn't sit on top of the fascia board, so this was doomed from day one, you know. And we're gonna try to get this off and cut off about at least 4 inches, maybe more. Let's get as much as we can so that we can get a distance for the snow to slide and go down in there. Because in between the buildings, like you can see over there, there's a place for water to go and snow. So we're trying to prevent this from getting any more damage on it without moving the building. Let's see what we got going. I have a feeling that I pry here and the whole thing might fall down, which I don't really want. But I might have Dawson go down and receive it. Right? You gonna go down and receive it? And I'll lower it to you. See how loose it is? If I can get it off from here, it's got vinyl siding down there. But if I can get it to go out and down, we can reuse it, you know, save on material. We need to cut the end of the rafter tails and the sheathing off and see how rotten it is, you know. So I'll work my way across. So if you support that, let's see if we can get it out of there in one piece. See what we can do here. Not connected at all on this rafter. So just on the corner, and then I'll see if I can let it down. We got her off in one piece, huh? Yep. And then we're gonna salvage it. We decided we're gonna cut off and save 1.5 inches. So snap the line. I'm gonna cut through everything at once here. Get rid of the sheathing. It's 3/4 OSB. Get rid of it. Move the drip edge out because I don't want the drip edge short by cutting it. Use an old blade, and you see how crooked it is because the blade got all warped hot, didn't it? And we tore that out, which is rotten. So we got back in a little better sheathing. And then Dawson's doing a plumb line here. And I'm going to cut that. You're not on the right line.
Oh, is this one back here?
Yeah, the chalk bounced.
Oh, crap.
Let's plumb that up. Move the level down a little bit and then draw your line. I'm going to cut that with a Sawzall. Gotta trim a little tree while we're here, don't we? Everything's in our way here. So this is our last rafter. Dawson put the plumb line. There we go. Now we can take this and cut it to size. And this is our fascia soffit. Cut it to size and put it back on there. Then we can put the drip edge on and we can put the steel back down. So I ripped that soffit board. We're going to attach it together as a unit. I'll use finishing nails. And we'll put that board on as one unit. And that'll do our soffit, which will sit on the J-channel. Nail it to the rafter tails.
Alright, so as you saw, we cut our fascia and our soffit, attached them as a piece up on the roof. We set it down over our rafter tails, and we pushed up and in, and it's in this corner over the J under here. And then we pushed that in, got a few air nails in. Then we realized we couldn't fit the nailer in between the garage and the shed here, so we got the old Ryobi impact out and some deck screws, and we screwed it in. So that should be nice and strong. And if you look under here, all the way down, it looks pretty nice.
Yep,
There's no, you can't see any daylight. So
this drip edge. Remember, we pushed it out so we could save it. Now we can bend it. And what that does is it makes it strong, and it seals this corner up from bees and bugs. They did put the vinyl on out too far. They should have capped this, but we're just going to do what we can do with it. And then we got to put the steel back on. But Dawson just fixed all them, and that's nice and tight with our soffit and fascia. And now look at the room between the building here, guys. I didn't measure it, but what did we cut off? Look how much we cut off, guys. So this should work great. Well, that's what she looks like. So it's a lot cut off. It's not necessary to have that much overhang. It was like a foot, and we're doing roughly 2 inches, but the steel's going to overhang another 1.5 inches or so. So because the buildings are so close together, we need a place for that snow to go. And the roof has low pitch. It's only, I didn't measure it, but it's like none. It's roughly not a 2, 1 something. So that's our overhang right there. You see the garages themselves are out of square from each other, and this building is out of square from that garage. So that's what we're gonna have. I gotta put a drip edge on, and we're gonna start putting the steel on. And it's a little alleyway, so I think it's gonna be a whole lot better because he had water backing up, and now we can get rid of the roof damage problem. So worked out good. Getting this all cleaned up here. The shingles don't look too bad, but there's no pitch to this, so they leaked, you know. I got my drip edge on, got our fascia board on, so it's looking pretty good, guys. And now we're going to check now on our diagonals to see how square this is, so we can put our metal back on. The only difference is we're not going to have that big overhang. We only need about 1 inch past the drip edge, and that way the water can't wick back. And then we're going to let the overhang hang off this front here. And so we're going to put our sheets back on here. We put stickers between them so they wouldn't scratch anything. And then we'll get this put back down.
202.5. All right, Dad's measuring corner to corner on the shed, seeing how square we are, so we know for our roofing steel, so we don't run. What do we got?
Yeah, we want to get them on as straight as we can because we have to use what they have. So this is
got a piece.
204.
204. So 202.5, 204.
So it's 1.5 inches out of square.
So 3/4.
It's longer this direction.
Here.
So what we'll do is we'll look at this sheet here, and it's cut straight, isn't it?
Pretty straight.
It is cut pretty straight. So I just want to make sure that when we get them on there, this is the top. They had a drip edge here. We're going to let it run up over whatever it is. So I want about 1 inch overhang. And if you start here and it's 1 inch and it's longer and it's out of square, it's going to tend to look ridiculous when you're done. So what I do in this case is I measure 163, kind of get an idea. You can tell on their shingles it's out of square because you see how these are running? That's a 1/2 inch there they had to make up. So either they didn't measure well or we got different numbers here. And this is 162.5. That was 163 1/2 inch, and then it's 1.5 inches out of diagonal longer that way. So we needed to make it shorter. So it won't be too bad on this smaller building. We'll keep that in mind as we put our sheets on. And we already have the holes. And so what we're going to do is we'll set it there, and we'll get our overhang, because these are 38 inches from outside to outside, and the ribs are 9-inch center, so it's 36. So I want to measure the width of the building, and what I'd like, if you look here, see how this vinyl is hanging out? I don't want all the water and crap to get down in there. So I'd like a little bit of overhang, and what really should happen is put some flashing in the brake and bend it and have it go here and over that and put our steel on. Or a rake or a Denver overhang would be nice. But we're not, because we don't have the stuff and he doesn't want it, so we're going to put our metal on now. Alright, so we got more overhang on the front now. It was flush before, so this is going to protect the door a little bit. I'm going to temporarily put this down because it's so far out of square. Running flush with the edge of the building is only flush with the edge of the building, so this really needs rake panels put on it. The Amish built this. I think this metal come from PA somewhere, but we thought it was, the building was what, 1.5 inches out of square, and you can see their metal. So they did that. Look at that thing. Show up there how much over it is. How much too long, wide.
Oh.
That whole rib part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll fit on here. So this worked out pretty good. Wish we had a couple gable ends. Maybe I can talk them into getting a couple, but Dawson's not over driving them, right? You're not over squashing them.
Nope.
We don't want to squeeze out. And I do have a quiet drive, but we didn't bring it, did we?
No.
But that thing's real gentle and it's quiet. But we're going to sweep this roof off. There's trees growing on that one. And then I think I got to caulk that hole. It went into like the J channel before, and it's really crooked, so I'm just going to caulk those up. And the roof's not on exactly the way it was because we did some changes. Don't look too bad. You working hard? Might as well finish up by cleaning up both roofs because we get hard rain. It's going to be dumped right on our new roof here. Well, you know what? I know what you guys are going to say. The same thing I say is I think it should have a gable end on it. So I might bend some custom metal at home and bring it down. But it's going to have a gable end to go over this. And I believe they're 171. And I think they come in 12.5 foot. So I think I can special order a 16-footer, but I think probably just aluminum and brown wouldn't look bad. And we could go down over the edge of that vinyl siding, and it'll cap off the outside corner and come up to here. And then if we did butyl tape on the edge, that should work great, right, Dawson?
What's that?
If we made a custom aluminum and put it on the ends, we could go down over the vinyl siding and waterproof it. Because this roof here is going to be dripping on it too, you know. It's going to get abundance of water. So I might tell the homeowner I'd like to do that. But we'll do that at a different date. I think we got another little project to do. So I could bend them at home, bring them down in leisure. I got a 10.5 foot brake, and I think this is 171, so 172. So I have to do 4 pieces, but 2 for each side. Turned out pretty good. Quite a pile of debris there. Finish that up, but that's going to get slippery under your feet up there, you know. We'll get this debris out of here, and then don't sweep it on my fresh roof here. And I just put some through the roof caulk on any of them little holes on the end there. But this turned out pretty good. The water and snow should have plenty of room to exit here, you know. Quite a lot of room there. So thanks for watching, right, Dawson? Yep. Tell them it's easier to watch and do it out here in the heat, isn't it? Yeah. Sure, we're sweating today. See you later.